Is this the same guy who drives a pink Jeep right now? Got.
Am I sounding super hedro? Fucking bitches, man. Am I right?
So one of them grabs Kevin, one of them grabs me and pulls me out, and I go back like a scuba diver, and I fall on my head. I crack my skull.
Dude.
He starts kicking my jaw. To this day, I have TMJ.
Yeah, I believe you're going to find that just like we're connected to the monkeys, I believe that the aliens are connected to the octopi, and they look kind of like octopus people. My balls totally moving, new and improving. Knockout, we get back up. I got the heart and desire. My balls are on fire, ready to take us to the top. Welcome to the show. Did you know that your love is she's a fucking hoe! All hail the king of the West! I feel like I wasn't tired, and then I got tired from trying to stop. Not trying to stop, just move out of the way of our fucking guest that everybody loves the most. It's the sick dog Ryan Sickler's here.
Good to be back. And I'm going to say here on the mic, I apologize for my tardiness today. I know you guys are professionals. You have clocks. You work on schedules.
That means a lot to me, Ryan.
My bad.
There are some things that can never be forgiven.
My bad. I know.
Yeah, we weren't going to bring it up, but
I'm just apologizing. I'm not asking for forgiveness.
the
Those are
end
two
of the
separate
relationship
things.
is
Those are two
here.
separate
Yeah.
things.
I was just recently on Ryan Sickler's show. Ryan, what time did I show up?
On time. Showed up 15 minutes early in a pink Jeep and crept up alongside of me and just peeked over.
Somebody yelled at me. I was doing a phone call yesterday in the car, and I was at a light, and then a truck was turning past, and the man in the truck was super mad at me because my truck was pink, and he said that I was a fucking... And I was
He
like...
screamed that at you?
Yeah, and I was like, man, how does he know?
I know. And the worst part was,
He fucking got
he's
me.
right.
Yeah, I was like, oh, man. He said I suck dicks and everything. I was like, how the fuck?
man, I gotta get a
Hey,
darker,
man, like, yeah, fucking...
I gotta get a darker tint on the window.
Right?
Everybody knows what's going on in here.
Dude, just totally caught me being gay and minding my own gay business. But yeah, I didn't know that my pink truck could be that effective. He was like, not only do I know that you suck dicks, I'm livid about it. Like, he really wants me to stop, is what I got. But it was like when you're in a phone call, it's like a business call.
Yeah.
So I couldn't.
You're hearing that in the back.
Yeah, man. I'm like, yeah, man, I think we should go fuck you, fucker. Smash him.
Just a fan. Just a fan.
Yeah.
Driving by.
He loved me.
Yeah, he loves me. This guy loves me.
Yeah, I was. It took me a minute to understand what I did. I was like, man, my face really that gay? And I was like, pink truck, yeah.
I forget.
Yeah, you forget because it's just a color, you know. Someone told me the other day that it's not even really a color. It's just like some weird thing that makes the sun reflect off it and gives you that image, but it's not actually pink. Pink's not pink, and red's not red.
Yeah, what are colors, man?
What are words?
Trip on that.
Seriously, bro. Gonna teach you breath work.
Yeah, I need to get
Super
road
easy.
work, all that shit.
Road
Well,
work?
Lana's been asking me. I'm talking about for boxing. I need to get out on the road. And like I said, if you were in a real ring, you would be able to just you'd be able to dodge me for the whole 60 seconds. I wouldn't be. I'd have to get you into a corner, and then
You're not
hope like
doing
hell I could get you.
So for those who don't know, before we started rolling the
sorry.
pod, you two were upstairs in the dojo.
Yeah. We went up to the Tiger Wolf dojo because I have an idea. Thanks. It kind of triggered really with Ryan saying, "Hey man, you should do like pay-per-views," and I was like, "Yeah, like outside activities besides sitting at a table. I'm probably like just as good as that as talking into a microphone. Yeah, why aren't I doing that? But I couldn't think of an idea of what would be a good thing. And then I thought it'd be funny to watch you, Ryan, and Bert Kreischer compete against my face. All you do is you've got 1 minute to punch me in the face as much as you want, and then so does Bert. And if you both go 4 punches each, then we go to sudden death and we do it again or whatever it is. But I thought it was a good idea, and I text Bert about it, and he was like, interesting. And I'm like, it is interesting, but I know he's in another
Slovenia?
country for a long time. But after that conversation, I thought, look, even if because I know Bert's flying around 100 mile an hour, the chances of him actually, hey, Jason, what happened to that thing? Like, can I punch you in the face? Might not happen. But I do know Tony Hawk joked about it on my podcast with him the other day he's like, I would hit pads if you let me. And I'm like, if he's going to hit pads, he definitely hit my face. That's just Tony.
Yeah.
I know him. And then I thought, well, Tony, and then I know Ruby Rose boxes. And I was like, you could get a solid group. And I have a friend who owns a gym, it's brand new. And we could all go there and do a free show. So I'm very inspired to try and pull that off.
I'd love another chance at hitting you in the fucking face.
Yeah, because I feel
just walked in and you guys hit me literally with like, throw these gloves on, see if you can hit me in the face. I'd love a shot.
I can tell you were like, wait, right in the face, right before we started. You're saying in the face. And I was like, yeah, in the face. Like, that's what the whole thing is. So, yeah, you need some more. If you knew, even more so, if you had a group of people that were competing against you and you saw somebody and you were like, that motherfucker landed like 4. I'm going to smash Ellis. I'm going to get like 10 on this guy. Like, that would motivate you to do better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have been cracking eggs in a blender this morning.
I would have jogged over here. Matter of fact, that's why I would have been here 10 minutes early.
Oh, man. But I think you did good, really. And I think that I almost
Look,
thought
I'm
for a
48
second,
years old. I didn't stretch. I didn't do anything. I
But
just
you have
walked in
boxed.
here. I've taken boxing classes, lessons. I've never been in a ring. I've been in a lot of street fights, but I've never been in a ring. In a street fight, I can tackle you and take you to the ground. I can't do that.
Was that
in
one of your
boxing.
street fighting moves?
If I had to, I would. Yeah, for sure.
What is the difference? What would be the difference between punching someone in the face and taking them down first? What makes you make that decision in a street fight?
I don't know what do you mean?
Like you said that usually you will take somebody down and then humble them.
If they're one of those guys that's a lot of shit talk and just starts hopping around and I know I'm not going to be able to get in there and get them, I'll just fucking charge them, take them to the ground and get on top of them and then hit the face.
So,
but if someone squares up and is ready to just fucking go,
you'll square up.
Then I'll square up and go toe to toe. Yeah.
And does this got a lot to do with your childhood? Like because
what doesn't?
Because a lot of people don't. I
also have a twin brother, and I really firmly believe.
Will he do the same?
Yeah, for sure. And I had built-in competition. You know what I mean? Like growing up, if I wanted to go, if we wanted to have that competition right now, we'd be like, I'll go, then you go. So I didn't have to wait for a friend in the neighborhood. I had it in the house, and we were not scared to fuck each other up.
Did you two get into actual fights?
Oh, yeah. The hardest I've ever been punched in my face is my brother. No doubt.
It's funny.
They held my
it's a country
arms
song,
back.
I think.
Yeah, he's tall and skinny, but he scraps. And there was a night when we were seniors, and we didn't have parents at that point. We're just at each other's throats, and they thought I was going to kill him. So they held my arms, and when they held my arms, he took the shot of a lifetime. I don't even blame him. He did. He got it. I saw stars. I'd never been hit like that.
Man,
before.
we used to, before I ever did any training at all, we were in Australia, we would get have barbecues, and I'm pretty sure it was my idea. It's a bad idea, but I think it was the brought boxing gloves, and then I was like, we should all like have some fights in the backyard, and that was kind of funny. And I think my brother, shout out to Lee that I know listens now, Lee and his friends kind of got into it a little bit more, and I don't know how many times I was involved, not as much as they were, but one time. It was like, come on, Lee, put the gloves on and fight me. And he's like, yeah, in the backyard of my house with my first wife that I ever had. And Lee's wife was there. So it was a super odd, I believe I'm saying this is the way that it happened.
How old are you at this point, too, by the way? 20s, 30s?
Nah, 30s.
Okay.
Early 30s, I think. But I remember thinking that I knew more about boxing than him because I'd been watching a lot of Muhammad Ali or something, and we were sober. It was in the daytime, and we both hit each other at the same time. And I was like, oh.
Like that double knockout shit?
Yeah, well, we both didn't get knocked out, but we both ate a fucking solid punch. And I remember going, oh, I don't want to do this at all. And he was like, fuck, I don't really want to do. And I was like, do you want to stop? And he was like, yep. I'm like, okay, cool, let's stop. But I do remember up until that date that was one of those, because now that I know more about fighting, and some people just have heavier hands, and it is a confusing thing when you fight a lot where you get hit by somebody and you're like, whatever. And then you spar against another guy and he throws the same looking punch and you go, what? And you're like, what the fuck was that? You don't, because you can't, heavy hands don't come any faster. They just, when they land, all of a sudden there's this sting or, like a vibration in your brain. Like you're like, what the fuck was that? I remember that was my first experience with that, and I didn't want to experience that anymore. I remember thinking, yeah, whoever hits like my brother, I don't want to get hit by that.
We got into it became this thing after that kind of shit where we would fight, but it would be a fun thing.
Yeah,
like I would grab him and I would throw him in the fridge.
Though,
and
correct?
I would slam the fridge door on him, like in his ribs, while all the condiments are falling on him and shit. But he'd be like, like it hurt, and he'd be laughing. But then I knew I was gonna get it. You know what I mean? And we would just go at it like that. You know. But
didn't sound like you were angry.
The time he punched me in my face and got me good,
but that's only one time.
There was another time. I mean, all our whole life we grew up. So I remember one time this still gives me the chills because I can feel it. I fucking grabbed him one time and I DDT'd him.
Yeah.
And I got him
DDT
good.
On the real ground.
Got him on carpet with concrete under it in our house. And his fucking head like swelled up. I got him good on that one. And then another time I got him good or he got me, as a matter of fact. And I'll never forget, man. I can still feel it in my body. He shoved me so hard that when I fell, I was like 7th grade. My buck teeth went into the drywall and dug down a little bit. I could still, when I say that, I could still feel that feeling in my fucking body of that shit.
Man, I got his.
But because I say this is my favorite one ever because it backfired. So I had glasses when I was little until corrected my vision. Now I wear them again. I didn't know that could happen. I thought once you had glasses, you had glasses. I didn't know when you're younger it could correct your vision for a while.
I didn't know that either.
But it did.
Okay.
But I had these Bob Greasy glasses. He's an old Miami Dolphins quarterback, and he had this line of glasses out when I was a kid. So I hated wearing them. But one night, my brother grabbed them, and he took them, and he ran them across the drywall, just on the wall.
Yeah.
And it put paint on the lenses and scratched them up, and they were fucked, and I couldn't use them. And then he gave them back to me, and my dad's sitting in the living room, and I just looked at my brother, and I smiled as big as I could, and I went, Dad, look what Derek did to my glass. You know how much those glasses cost? Oh, dude, he got his ass. He was in so much fucking trouble for fucking mine. I didn't want to wear them anyway. He did nothing but a favor, but I ratted his ass out.
Oh, shit. But did they buy new ones?
They had to buy me. Yeah. I couldn't see. They had paint on them. Like,
wait, your eyes were that bad?
No, I mean, once he scratched them up, it had white circles covering the like in a
but I'm saying when you didn't have glasses on, you could see.
It was fine. I never wanted to wear those glasses, but I knew I could get him in trouble without ever fucking touching them and let somebody else beat him.
Okay. Hey everybody, Jason Ellis here talking about Mint Mobile. Do you want to spend less money while having a phone at the same time? You might want to check these guys out. They've got some sweet deals, like $15.
Yeah, ask yourself, do you want to pay however much you're paying every month for your cell phone? Or do you want to have the exact same service and pay $15 a month as a starter package?
Come on. Yep. What are you doing?
All plans come with unlimited text and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone. You can keep your phone number. And if you're not 100% satisfied, Mint Mobile has you covered with their 7-day money-back guarantee.
We've got one to call the show. You can call the show thanks to Mint Mobile.
To get your wireless plan, your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Ellis. That's mintmobile.com/Ellis. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Ellis. We are talking to you today about Upstart. Can anybody in the room relate to the feeling where you've been putting stuff on a credit card all month and by the end of the month, you don't even want to look at the balance because you're afraid of what it might be?
Yep.
Do you know the feeling when you have a high interest rate and you make a payment at the end of the month and you're like, I didn't even pay anything off. I just paid the interest. The number's not going down.
I can't take it anymore, Michael.
Ooh, I hate it.
Well, with a 5-minute online rate check, you can see if you can get a loan to consolidate all of these outstanding payments that you're making into one affordable low monthly payment. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/Ellis. That's upstart.com/Ellis. Don't forget to use our URL to let them know we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/Ellis.
I got the one to beat because I got in so much trouble. This is my stepmom. My brother is a half brother. Doesn't matter to me. He's my fucking brother. But my stepmom and I were probably not like the best of friends, especially around that time because I was becoming a teen and probably becoming for sure the most annoying person in the house. And I think she wished if he wasn't here, I'd just have these two delightful kids and not this shithead. Not all the time. We love each other. But at the time, I remember this is not a thing that you would want to do. And my brother and I had a trampoline. My father dug a hole. So it was on the ground trampoline. So it was just a hole underneath. And I don't know why, but fucking there's these cobblestone wooden blocks. And Lee went under there. And I knew he was doing it. He told me he was doing it. And I just didn't understand. He didn't understand, obviously. But he was trying to throw the brick to hit my foot as I was hitting the trampoline. And so one of them hit my foot and he threw it. He lied on his back and threw it like that above his head. So when it hit the foot, it bounced back and hit him in the head. like both of us didn't realize that at the time that was for sure going to happen. So he's like, oh, and I pull him out from under there and he's I think he was like 6 or something. He was like just a toddler. Such a bad look, man.
First grade.
I fucking knock on the door because I don't know why. Instead of going around the back, I go to the front door and I'm like, and I'm holding his hand and he's got his hand on the head and blood is just spurting out down his face. So it looks like he's dying. And she opens the door and I'm just like, Lee threw a brick at my foot. Like
Lee threw a brick at my foot.
And trying to get some way out of. It's not entirely my fault, but I just remember thinking, "Fuck, man, you such a." I felt, you know what I mean? Because I can't believe he was young enough to not know that if he threw it at my head, it was going to bounce off and hit him in the head. I probably should have known that.
Did you get 100% in trouble for that? Because I wouldn't consider that 100% your fault.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. How much older are you again?
5 years, I think.
Yeah, you should have known better. I take that back. That was
11. You're 11.
I thought it was more like 3, like
He's
9 and 6, maybe.
What's jerking off got to do it?
Just saying, you're aware of a lot of things in
life. You're a man.
If you're playing with your dick, you should know a brick's going to come back and hit a kid.
Yeah.
I've never seen a trampoline like that. Are you saying, so your dad dug a hole and it was flush with the ground so that when you bounced down at the hole? I've never seen a trampoline.
Dude, we did that.
Ever. Have you ever seen that?
I had a friend that had one of those. When we get drunk, he would show off his amazing ability to do like backflips.
Is it the same trampoline except you don't put it on the stilts?
We had it originally on the stilts. Yeah. And then, because that thing was in our fucking, it's still, I believe they've got a new cover for it, but there's a house in the mountains that we bought a long time ago. And when we moved, my father lost his houses and stuff. So that was the only thing he owned in the end. We put the trampoline there with the same technique, dug it all out. And then put that thing there. People started riding motocross bikes across it because it had been there for so long. But the dirt and the grass grew
under it,
and the trampoline got stretchier. So if you didn't know and you were bouncing around it, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do the one on the back or whatever. You're gonna fucking bottom out and blow your spine out. So it was such a sketchy thing. But I believe because my brother has kids now and they tuned that thing up. I believe I saw videos of a newer one, but that thing I've bounced on it naked when it was snowing. Like that thing has been through so many. Yeah, but in skateboarding, it helped me with skateboarding. I used to put a skateboard deck on it and do kick flips and flip the board into my hand and Indy 5 foot. Like I used to do like front flips and grab the board, but all that stuff was good practice for keeping board control. So it was like it was weird. Every now and then skateboarding would come across a trampoline, and that's another thing. Sluggo was a gymnast, is another skateboarder I know. But myself and Sluggo way better because he had like gymnast double flipping twist shit. And everyone's like, whoa. And every other skateboarder is just like, maniac bouncing around. And I could do these like tons of skateboard shit and keep it on there. And people are like, man, how do you do that? I'm like, because it's in the backyard when I was a kid. And that just became, I had like marks on my back because I would just spend hours. Anything, when it came to skateboarding, I could do a good 6 hours of just driven on that one thing. So the trampoline became kind of a ramp.
Yeah, I can see that. Hey, Ryan, you're twin identical? Not.
Fraternal.
Okay. So
4 minutes older.
he's
ugly
taller.
as hell, right?
He's taller, skinnier. Yeah, I got all the good looks and
Nice.
a sense of humor and shit. Yeah.
He's the evil one.
He's the evil twin.
I don't know. After you punching me.
He's 4 fucking minutes older. I always tell him that he was just delivered first, that I'm actually older. Like, I feel like I'm my own zygote, so I feel like I was conceived first, and I just was pulled out second.
What word did you just say?
Okay, refresh my memory about zygotes.
So, fraternal twins, it actually is the opposite. Identical twins share an egg.
Yeah.
But fraternal twins are in their own separate sack, which is called a zygote. Like, I think it's Zygote. I might even be pronouncing it
no, you're
correctly.
correct. That's how I
is that
pronounce
right?
it as well. Yeah.
So as a fraternal twin, I was in my own sack in the womb. I didn't share one with him.
Right.
So I think there's a chance that I popped up first, he popped up second, but birth is by time you're delivered.
Oh.
So
you're
I
saying
could
like,
technically
yeah.
be an older egg.
okay.
I just came out second.
It kind of seems like last in, first out. That kind of adds up.
There you go. It could.
Like you were in there a long time and his egg just sort of bounced in front of your egg for the vag.
Or we
opening.
could have just popped up both. Like I pop up 4 minutes later, his pops up, and then we're floating in there for 9 months,
Right.
and his
just so happened
goes
that
out
he got to
first.
the door
Yeah.
first.
Mhm.
Right. That makes sense.
But I'm also the runt in the family. Like my mom is 6 foot tall. Everybody. My dad was 6'1", 2. My younger brother's about 6'1". I think my twin's like 6'2". I'm 5'10". I'm the smallest of everybody.
It's not that bad. Move faster.
I don't know.
Probably
These
live
days.
longer. I feel like when you get above 6 feet, you can die earlier.
You're right about that. You
Bigger
don't.
organs.
You don't see 6'5", 70-year-olds.
Right.
You just don't.
Giant people die.
You don't see big, tall 70, 80-year-olds.
It's like I get it. Dunking's cool, but fuck.
I see little old men all the time.
That's right.
Allen Iverson's gonna beat Shaq.
That's right.
You're right.
Where's Manute Bull? Spud Webb
Is he dead
still
already?
standing.
Manute
Right.
Bull might be dead, right?
He is, right? Yeah.
I mean, I wonder why, you know?
I bet you Spud Webb's just fine right now.
I bet you Spud Webb
I
looks
told
the
this
same
story.
age.
Yeah.
I told this story on this Dumb People Town with the Sklar brothers and Dan Van Kirk about this, and then people were like bullshit, and then other people went and corroborated this shit. So Maryland, we didn't have a NBA team. The closest back then was the Bullets, who are now the Wizards, but they were Washington Bullets back then. And Manute Bol was on the team, and we went to watch a game. And we see this there's a bunch of us outside early, and this pickup truck pulls in, and everyone's looking at it. We're like, no one's driving this fucking truck. No one's driving. It's just crew. And then it stops, and then fucking Manute Bol gets out of the thing. And he was so big that they had to take the front bench seat out, and he sat in this one where,
Shut the
And
fuck
I swear
up.
to God. And
And that was his car?
that
Like,
was
did
what
he drive
drove
himself?
for a little. Yeah, he drove that. He
I
would
mean,
have
I
to
just
sit in the
realized
back
you're right.
seat,
His legs would be
7 feet tall. He couldn't do it.
they would not fit in a normal
so they
car.
gave him that back little seat, which definitely is not safe. Is it there?
He's just showing
No,
him the
just to
size.
refresh
Oh,
everybody's
how big he
memory.
is.
The classic poster.
You know that
It's absurd.
Him and Spud.
I saw a
And Spud
photo.
could dunk.
Spud could dunk and fillet Manute Bol while standing.
Yeah.
which
He
is important to recognize. It's true, he could. Do you know who's the UFC fighter that won this weekend? Or it doesn't really matter the date, but the cookie lady. She's the cookie. What's her name, Katie?
I don't know.
Well, anyway, she's 5'1", and Stefan Struve is 7.
Oh,
They
Carla
showed-
Esparza.
Yeah, Carla Esparza. There
He's
it is.
5'1". That's like a
Yeah.
little Tasmanian devil
But
in
they
there.
did. I
spinning
saw
it.
I saw a little MMA post of those two next to each other, and that's very similar to what you just showed me. They are half the size. Like she's half the size.
Isn't it amazing that those two human beings can they play the same sport?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even make sense to look at those two people and go, you guys play the same sport at that level?
It's more
too?
unusual in basketball for sure. Because
Yeah.
you're
There's
right,
only been a
they're-
handful of guys.
they're
like
both very
Muggsy and
important to the
Spud
team.
and- yeah.
You're saying not a lot of little guys end up making it to the NBA?
No, that is what I'm saying.
Right.
It's a tall man.
You got to be very special.
It's a tall man's league.
It's also amazing that Manupal's wife was probably about the same size as Spud Webb. Shaq had, I don't know if it's still his wife, right?
Nah, this
But
is
every
way.
woman's smaller than Shaq. You know, they're all smaller than Shaq. And
Yeah,
Liverpool.
I remember seeing that show where Shaq's wife was in some TV show with a bunch of other basketball wives, and she seemed like, man, how do I say this? I mean, I want to say she seemed like a cunt, but
I think you said it.
I feel
That
like
gets
it's
the point
more.
across.
It's more. Yeah.
It's good you stopped to choose your words carefully.
Thanks, Michael.
Way to think out loud on that. Worked it out. You got there.
I feel like the show. I'm okay. I don't think I lost any listeners on that one. You knew that was coming, you know. But yeah, she seems. It's just weird to be super bitter and be on a TV show where you got paid because you used to be married to Shaq to be on a TV show, and that it's usually you're at lunches, drinking, and like if I got paid a bunch of money to have lunches, and have a good time in Beverly Hills, it'd be tough to get me to just say fuck, this sucks and that sucks, and the thing that sucks about this. It'd be a couple times where you probably catch me like, woo,
Yeah.
you know, like, hell yeah, a couple times.
Yeah, you won the Gold Digger lottery. Enjoy it.
Ooh, harsh. But
What?
I don't know, man.
No, I'm
Maybe-
sure
maybe-
she loved Shaquille O'Neal for what was on the inside. Oh, did you play basketball? I didn't even know. We met in a book club.
I mean, even if you legit didn't know he played basketball, it's. I mean, have you ever seen the videos of him in the front row of the concerts where he's just fucking head banging and shit, and you're just like, he stands out. He looks like a T-Rex among fucking cavemen. You know,
He
like
picked my son up once and by the ankle and held him up for a photo with my
1 foot.
Yeah, and he looked like made my son look like an even smaller toddler than he was.
Yeah, he's massive.
But he's a fun guy. That tells me
I love him. He's
he
bouncing
knows
around
his-
with the kids. All
Yeah.
that. He doesn't take himself too seriously.
Yeah, it's such a great role model for everybody out there, and to know your gifts that you were given and you use them to the best of your abilities, and now you're a guy that, to me, I have no idea, but it looks like you're a give back kind of guy. you know?
Totally, totally.
And I think that's great when you can be so high up there in the clouds with your money and your celebrity status and still be like, hey, could you take a photo of my son? He's like, oh, I'll take a fucking photo of your son. Fucking check that out. Take a fucking photo of that. I'm like, man, what a fucking champion. I love Shaquille O'Neal.
I do too,
I wish I had
dude.
been
I
there.
really
Like,
do love
fuck,
it.
dude, thank you for doing that.
Does it seem like gigantic guys do kind of like the novelty of dating smaller chicks? Like I know it would be hard for Shaq to find a girl the same height as him, but they do seem like the mountain from Game of Thrones. He was dating like a tiny lady.
Is she extraordinary tiny? Like, what do you, or is she just like sometimes you might
not like
just
beneath 5 feet, but they never tend to date like volleyball stars.
Well, I feel like a lot of fighters don't date fighters. I don't feel like it's I don't want to go out with a skateboarder. Hey, everybody, talking about keeps today. I was thinking about growing my hair back
Yeah.
and like getting a convertible and just driving down the road with the wind in my hair, but I can't do it because I'm bald and I didn't know about keeps, and now it's too late. Look at me. No point in a convertible. I should just wear a helmet for the rest of my life.
You could get a PT Cruiser.
Exactly.
That's right. 'Cause
Yeah,
the
what do you want to
wind-
be? Convertible guy or PT Cruiser guy?
Yeah, do you want to have the wind blowing through your hair or through your nothing?
Don't be me, ladies and gentlemen. Don't do it.
2 out of 3 men will experience some form of hair loss by the time they're 35. If you feel like you might be in that category, start now before it is too late.
Ah!
If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to KEEPS.com/Ellis to receive your first month of treatment for free. That's KEEPS.com/Ellis to get your first month free. KEEPS.com/Ellis.
Yes, let's get in the bone zone with Blue Chew, everybody. This is what it's all about for me. I don't want to say how many times I use it, but the bag is empty before the next bag comes. Let's just say that. and they are delightful. I feel powerful. I feel like I perform magic. I believe that nobody can lift more towels than me. Wet towels, towels with weights on them. I believe you could hang a team from my towel and it would still stay up.
Wow.
If you know what I'm saying.
Oh, it took me a second, but I got there.
Like a rhinoceros's tusk.
That's right. Why would you? If you're in the market for this sort of thing, why not look into BlueChew.com? High quality generics, not sketchy at all. They're made here in the US. They're chewable. They're unflavored. If that sort of thing concerns you, there's no awkward conversation with a doctor. You have an online consultation with a licensed medical professional. We've all done it. It could not be easier. And here's a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code Ellis at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code Ellis to receive your first month free. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
I mean, here's the thing, too. You like what you like. It doesn't matter what you look like. You could be a big 400-pound Filipino dude.
I'd fuck Whitney Cummings.
Just randomly out of
I'm just thinking, because I was thinking like podcasting. What did I, it'd be like, would I fuck another?
You were going for fighters, skateboarders, comedians?
Yeah.
I'm with you
And
now.
I'm like, yeah, I would fuck her big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
you were saying?
I was saying it's funny to me. You like what you like. Like, I don't know if it's because you grew up, like you see these guys that like bigger women. Maybe they grew up with a mom that was larger or a grandmom or something. He got them early on where they feel that's love or comfort or whatever. So
they are fun to sleep
it
with.
doesn't matter that.
Yeah, it's like the formative years.
Yes.
Like the music that you like is probably going to be tied to your teen years.
Yeah, we're gonna be bless you. We're gonna be the senior citizens listening to hip hop.
I feel like because of the stigma that comes with being a large person and how in school you'd be like, oh, did you kiss that fat chick? You know, it's like you could get picked on for that. But I don't think it's healthy to be too big. You know, like you might be compressing your organs or something. I don't really know. But sleeping with really heavy chicks is pretty hot. Like they feel good. You know, I feel like don't knock it until you try it.
Okay, well, you have tried it. So when you talk about big girls, what do you mean by big? Are we talking about 300 plus?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of girls that are 160 and have a giant ass is cool too, but just like big giant ladies in like without the stigma of like, look how fat she is. Like if I'm just in it and grabbing everything, it feels really good.
Are you talking about like it's
sort of skinny little hot? You know what I mean? I'm not.
Is this the same guy who drives a pink Jeep right now? Got.
Am I sounding super hedro? Fucking bitches, man. Am I right?
Got hate crimed on the fucking road the other day.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, you should have yelled that. But wait, I fuck fat chicks.
Oh man, you know.
Is it legal to have a bumper sticker that says "I break for fat chicks and fat dicks"?
Man, I might go to a sticker company and get that.
I break for fat chicks and dicks.
Fat chicks and fat dicks.
You better fucking make that shit.
Right?
Yeah.
I got to make a song, like a country song. Right? Because I really could sing that.
You could duet with
could
Wheeler
sell it.
Walker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
How about fat dudes? You like a big
Yeah,
fat dude?
now let's talk about that because you like men too. So
No, I'm glad you asked.
have you ever had the male equivalent of the female fun you're talking about?
Yeah, but in a different way.
How big is the guy, first of all? Tall and weight.
It's different. To me, if
Like
you're
Newman from
if you're a
Seinfeld?
giant big, man,
That just made my dick crawl.
you guys get them all out. Tell me when you're ready.
Tell me when you're ready. I really do want to hear this.
The ignorance and the hate in this room is
Thank you, Marco. It's really starting to freak me out.
it's hard for me to sit here and put up with this.
Hashtag get off Ellis. You know,
Or get on them.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'm into big fat dudes blowing me, but I don't really want to like roll around with big fat dudes.
But have you?
Rolled around with a big fat dude.
At least one. I'm only asking because I'm trying to have a comparison here between the fun
Yes, I have.
female and the
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it as fun?
Yeah. That's the same thing. There's the same presence. To me, the only difference is if you're a big fat dude and you're real hairy, then that takes the fun. I don't want that on me kind of thing. Each to their own. I know a lot of people are into that. I don't really like it.
Have
How
you
about-
ever seen?
And
go
most
ahead,
women
sorry.
don't
Yeah.
have a lot of hair.
How about very hairy, skinny chicks?
Yeah, I think I've seen that. I know. I dated a girl once that had a snail trail
Yeah, whatever.
when I was like super young.
I think
Listen,
it's a
when you're
happy trail.
young, when
She was
you're
super
young,
goth.
who gives a fuck when you're
She
young?
was really hot.
I mean, I think about myself all the time, like braces, acne, bad hair, bad dresser. Like any chick that I told I loved back then, I'm going to stand by it today. I still mean it. If you did anything with me, I fucking love you, girl.
Aw.
I know what I look like.
Yeah.
Like for you to fucking slum on my side of the street back in the day to give me a little bit of pussy or anything, thank you. I love all of you.
Really? That's how you see yourself?
Yeah. But then,
Just because of the
talk
way you
about
were.
17, 18, angry, parentless,
Oh, okay.
acne, fucking bad hair, bad everything, bad
Yeah.
attitude.
Do you think your bad attitude was getting you laid?
I think a little bit.
All
I think I'll tell you what, bad attitude a little bit, but more sympathy. Having no
You
parents.
think you got charity jams?
I know I got it. I know I got it. The day my grandmother died, I had an ex-girlfriend who came up the stairs where I was. Not the day, like shortly. Well, yeah, and blew me. Just came over and gave me head.
That's a nice person.
And I was like, thank you so much.
Yeah. Because for,
Just came over and gave me head.
for at
And I
least
was
a
like,
couple of minutes, you're not thinking about
That's it.
Yeah.
She's like, come here. She literally walked. She knew my grandma. She walked in my home. I was sitting in a chair. She grabbed me by the hand. She took me upstairs, took me to the bedroom, my house,
Yep.
blew me, and then hung out and said, see you later.
Were there
weird.
words exchanged before the blowjob? Was she like, I'm going
She
to take you
literally-
upstairs and blow you? Or
No, she and
Oh,
it was a
nice.
surprise because she showed up with a friend of ours, a guy friend,
Oh.
showed up because he knew he came to say, I'm so sorry. Are you guys okay? She came with him as a surprise, and I was like, oh, you're here. Hey, how you doing? And then she just grabbed my hand and took me
Wait,
upstairs.
what did he do? Stay downstairs?
Yeah, with my brothers and stuff. We all knew each other from high school
Oh,
and stuff.
okay.
So
Everybody
she wasn't a stranger, and everyone knew we dated in high school and stuff. So.
She didn't like sprinkle in some kind words for the deceased.
Nah,
No.
no. I sprinkled. I did the sprinkling.
I mean, I feel like she's obviously, showing some remorse.
It was nice.
I feel like that's
I
the thing
don't
that
know,
doesn't
man.
cross genders though. Like are
Like
we
if I walked in, I was like, come here, let me eat your pussy.
Yeah.
Your grandma died, let me eat your pussy.
Yeah, I'm kind of pissed nobody sucked my dick after I got fired from Sirius. You know what I mean? Like, no one person called me to do that.
like are the four of us in agreement here? Like if a grandparent dies and someone wants to blow you to make it better, you're on board?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay,
It helped.
Katie,
It helped me.
where do you stand on this?
Man, I thought you were going to say blow me.
No, no.
My grandma
You
just
better
died.
watch it, motherfucker. I was like, wow, here he goes, eh?
Barking orders around.
Anyway, go ahead.
No, it's like Katie does like what are your thoughts on that?
No one's ever tried to give me a sympathy blowjob. So
Or
I can't,
sex, sympathy sex.
No.
You ever have sympathy sex?
But if you were
No.
Had that
depressed,
too.
like a loss of a family member, would that be appealing?
Yes.
Oral to make things better?
Fuck yeah. That's a great distraction.
It was a hell of a 10 minutes of not having to think about what I just went through. Because it was an ugly scene. My grandmother's death was brutal. I mean, she came out of her room, said someone help me, fell on her face, massive heart attack, broke her nose, her teeth came out. I was giving her CPR. Like it
You
was
were
a
there.
mess. Oh yeah. Yeah. I
Oh,
gave her
man.
mouth to mouth, all of it.
Oh God.
It was brutal. And then for her to come in like a day later and not say a word, take me upstairs, blow me, hang out, and leave.
She knew.
Isn't it weird
She
that
knew that
loved
was
my
that was a
grandma.
cure all.
in
She loved my
some
grandma.
in some walks of life that would be inappropriate? But
I don't know what walk of life it's inappropriate.
Well, I
Not
feel
if
like
you're
there's a
not
more-
if you're with me. Not
I
in
feel like
my
there's a more,
world.
right? But I'm saying there's a more uppity
Flowers might have been
uppity class of people where they'd be like, "This is not the time."
No, but you know what? The flowers die. I've remembered that blowjob forever. I remembered the. It's more than a blowjob. I remember the kind act more than
Yeah.
anything. Like, what an unselfish thing to do to just walk off the street and put my dick in your mouth to say, "Hey, sorry about your grandma."
It's like the Mother Teresa of
It's
blowjobs.
so it was the
Just going over
I would
there.
say it's the kindest blowjob I've ever. It was the kindest.
She swallowed it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
She wouldn't mess up my grandma's
you can't,
house.
You can't
man.
spit out a.
Not a death
chat-
blow.
That's
Yeah,
some Godfather shit. You insult me on the day.
Not a death blow. Some death head. I had some death head.
Oh.
Terrific, guys. Terrific. Well, everybody's talking about UFOs. Woo! UFOs, man. They're real
Sickler.
now. Oh, my God.
Death head.
I had deals. I've made deals with my like great aunts and everybody. Like a long time ago, we would say things like, "Hey, like, look, if I'm ever having a day after you die, 10 years, I just want to go shop, or I'm just having one of those days. Am I allowed to just say, hey, my aunt passed?" And they're like, "Yeah."
Nice.
I don't say 7 years ago.
Right.
You know, I'm just like, I'm having a day. Can I use your fucking death as an excuse to have a chill day? And every one of them has said yes. I would give that to anyone. Yeah, feel free to use my
Man, what a
death.
lazy thing to come up with.
Right?
Nice work.
It's easy, though.
Man.
Who's going to argue it?
No, they're all going to say it. I would say it.
Oh, I'm sorry. What happened? Oh, she passed. She
Yeah.
passed. When? 1997.
Yeah, just none of your business when.
Hey.
Give me a discount.
We all grieve differently.
Yeah.
Take me to TJ Maxx.
Yes. What were you saying about aliens? They're here, right?
Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah.
Let's change.
Does that stop? It doesn't stop anybody that thinks that
No one seems to give
Jesus
a
is
fuck.
the real guy, right? Like, doesn't that shut you down?
That Jesus is not a real guy if the
No,
aliens
he's not
are real.
like, he's not God's son and stuff. God's not real if aliens are real.
Well, so
Or
we've
are
talked about
they-
this before. There's a certain percentage that are never, there's nothing that's going to change their mind about that.
Yeah. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about facts. You know what I mean? Like the dinosaur thing where it's like,
Yeah.
dinosaurs could still exist and so could God. I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe, but what about aliens?
Well,
That's
you don't
still-
believe in dinosaurs?
No, some people that are Christians don't.
Yeah, and this is very interesting you bring this up. It's
like-
a very confusing time growing up in Maryland because we're 45 minutes from D.C., where the Smithsonian is, that has all the fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Okay? But you grow up this Catholic kid, and they're telling you that dinosaurs don't exist. And I'm like, then why in the fuck are we going from first grade to eighth grade to D.C. every year to look at these fucking dinosaurs
Yeah.
that you say don't exist? It's
Yeah.
so confusing to be in where you go and look at, you take field trips and the school is teaching you this shit exists, and the church in the same community is teaching you this shit
Crazy,
didn't.
right?
Yep. Meanwhile,
Just
they're
science
fucking kids.
is just like, no. Like
and
people
we're just
that-
trying to have some fucking astronaut ice cream.
Science
down
is
at the
lying.
Smithsonian.
Harry Potter's the devil, like all these
Yeah.
weird things that I'm like, do you know how many years it's going to take those kids to? They didn't
Never.
need that little. I know some people never, but just the mumbling of it all. Like I got to unscramble all this and be like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah,
are
why
you
is the
talking
school
about?
telling us this shit's real, but the church telling us this shit isn't real? Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of people who believe that both are true. That dinosaurs
That's the other
are-
one,
are
yeah.
real.
Which is
there's
actually a little
there's
bit
That's
more.
that
probably
too.
most people.
Yeah, I agree, Michael.
But it's still a different story if the spaceship lands and the guy comes out and goes, I come in peace. I would say at that point, you're probably somewhere roughly around 50-50. There's the people who you were never, ever going to change their mind. And now more than ever, they need to cling to something irrational because things have gotten very fucking crazy in the real
Yeah.
world. And then the other 50% are like, well, that fucking settles that.
But if aliens show up, does it discredit God and dinosaurs?
Not
not
necessarily.
the dinosaurs, but I know you're right. It doesn't necessarily void him out.
Even
He can-
God.
Well,
Even
he-
if you believe in
not
God,
necessarily.
it
but he wouldn't
doesn't-
be. That would mean. Well, no.
Why
does
does it
'cause he's-
change? Why does
well,
it
because-
change that narrative? If
Because
if
he's supposed to
aliens
be the
exist?
god of the universe. He created the universe.
Well, you know what those people are going to say. He
What?
created the aliens too. That's
Okay, well then,
Or if the alien gets off the spaceship and he's wearing a Pope hat.
if he's got a cross around his neck, then fucking those dudes are pumped. But if he's like, I never heard of Jesus Christ, the fuck you guys talking about?
What if the alien's a hardcore Muslim?
Oh, no.
That's problematic. He's like, fucking, I love Jesus. Fucking, I love the Old Testament and I fucking love the New Testament. I mean, have you guys even seen, I can't remember, what's the fucking Muslim gospel?
The Quran.
Yeah, you guys seen the Quran? Woo, that was the best one yet.
I mean, that would be good for Muslims.
Yes, problematic for the Christian community.
Well, I don't mind that.
No, I know, same here.
They can suck a butt. I just don't know if I want to be a Muslim. No offense to Muslims. I just don't. I feel like I'm trying to think if there's something you guys do that I don't want to do.
Well, they do have a lot of rules.
Yeah, like what? Like I can
pork. Don't you like pork?
Nah, I don't. I mean,
Could live without ham.
I could live without ham. Yeah, I like it, but I don't. I feel bad about eating it every time.
Do you really?
Yeah,
Because
Oh.
why?
I just don't.
The pig?
Yeah, I don't want to.
The animal comes into the. What about when you eat beef?
I'm getting the same thing. I'm getting
Really?
weird about eating meat. I do it because I train all the time, and people keep saying if you don't, then you eat all these supplements, and I'm like, fuck supplements. Like I don't want to have like a ritual of a lot of pills that I have to take, and I did go plant-based once, and there was, I had to do this fucking green powder thing every day, and I'm like, just when people that really know about plant-based tell you, make sure you also add this to your diet. It just depends on who you are. If I'm like a chef or I really love creating or measuring my food, then yes, I would have been completely committed to it. But I'm not. I'm hungry. I need to make something real quick. So then if I can forget to feed myself lunch or dinner, then you can rest assured that I'm going to forget to do those supplements that are in the pantry. Like I'll do Alpha Brain. I skip my fish oil sometimes. I skip my vitamin C's. I skip my TRTs. I do it like every second week now, just because I'm like, fuck, I'm going to stick myself this week. Fuck it. So I don't think it would work out because you got to be pretty militant. So I just sort of casually eat grass-fed meat because I get Stay Classy guys. They send me some stuff. So that's kind of mainly the meat, but I try to dodge it when it's out of the house.
Yeah.
But I do have I think it's the mushrooms and the ayahuasca. The more I do stuff like that, the less I feel inclined to eat meat.
I can see that.
I think there's a little attachment there with it because I notice the more, if I microdose, it's less I want to eat meat. And if I actually shroom, then I fucking don't want to eat meat for a couple of weeks.
It's impossible, I think, to really know how you seriously feel about consuming animal products because we all got that so hard in our formative years that it was normal. Like if it had never occurred to anybody to eat cow flesh until like 5 years ago and you'd made it this far, I don't know how many people would be converted to that because it is kind of weird when you think about it.
Yeah, look, each to their own. I used to murder them all.
Yeah.
I used to I've been, one time we went camping, I was in Scouts, and you had to bring your own meat, and everyone had there was only one barbecue plate, and I didn't want to wait, so I just ate some of it raw. And went about my day, because I was like, I'm not waiting for these fuckheads. And now, I don't, I remember rabbits, pulling their fucking heads off and skinning them and putting wild boar's heads on my head. Now
On your head?
Yeah, first time I ever killed a wild boar, and my dad's friend was from the Czech Republic, and he had all these crazy ideas about life and was very just brutal, but not in a mean way, but just a very brutal hunting half animal kind of man. And he taught me, we hung the big wild boar on the tree by his legs, and they gave me a meat cleaver, and they're like, you got to fucking hack into it, down into his ribs, and then pull all the stomach out. And I'm doing all this stuff, and he's like, now you got to hack his head off. And they're all kind of laughing, watching me whack away at this fucking boar's head. And then by the time I got the head off, blood splattering everywhere, just felt right to put it on my head. And then when I put it on my head, obviously everybody thought that was great. Jay's a top little kid. I mean, he gets it. He gets it. And then
Running around with a dead boar.
I wasn't running around. I was so big. I just stood there holding it with a gun in my hand. They took a photo.
Jesus. I remember my dad had, they would hunt back in the day, and they would do the same thing. They would string the deer up from the deck and then gut that thing up like that and just pull all that shit out. And I was like, yeah, I mean, if that's part of hunting, I'm good.
At the time, I thought it was great. I just something happened. I used to go back to Australia once a year, and I'd go at least rabbit hunting. And then one year, I went and shot a rabbit and picked him up. And I was like, fuck, this guy looks exactly like my pug. And there's video footage of it because my wife at the time filmed me walking back up. And she's like, what's wrong? And I was like, nothing. She's like, did you get one? I'm like, yep. And that was it. That was the last rabbit I cooked it, made a stew, ate it. And then now it's like, you want to go hunting, Jay? And I'm like, no.
I just fish. I've been fishing a lot.
I would do that. Yeah. Now that I live in the water,
I'll take you. Go with me.
I would like to do those kayak guys that paddle out and do fishing from the kayak. But then this is probably bullshit, but I see some videos of sharks bonking into people on the kayak. Fuck
no,
that.
We're going freshwater, bro. Fuck the saltwater.
Okay.
We're freshwater fishing.
But do you just stand on the side of some shit?
We'll get a little boat.
You do?
I go up to Castaic Lake
Yeah.
And for $65 for the day, you get a little 14-foot aluminum fishing boat with an 8-horsepower motor on it. And you just fucking tool around the lake all day and fish.
Nice.
I'll take
You drink?
I drink, but I'm a weed smoker. I don't drink much. But I would say I like literally during the entire pandemic, let's call it a year and a half so far, just for easy math. I don't know, less than 5 drinks maybe.
Okay.
Like I can have a 6-pack sit in the fridge for months, and then it'll be a hot summer fucking night, and I'm like, you know what? I want that fucking.
When you were a younger, angrier man, did you drink a lot then?
I did. Yes, I did. I drank much more then, just because I didn't do drugs, so I didn't even start smoking weed till I was about 21.
Oh, okay.
The first time I smoked weed, I was 18. A friend of mine had rolled a joint very poorly. We sat in his Firebird. He said, "You take the first hit," and the whole thing broke on my tongue, and he made me eat it.
Oh.
And that was it. Nothing happened. The second time, we're at a backyard party, and I went to try some weed, but the bowl was cashed, so I didn't nothing there. And then I didn't do it again until I was 21, and then that's when I really started smoking. And realized, because all my friends that smoked weed would tell me it's so much less sloppier than alcohol.
Yeah.
Like, I would go to bed at night and lay on my back, and I could hear the liquid in my stomach going back and forth. And also, I have a high tolerance. So
you drink a lot.
for me to get fucked up or to get where I want to get, I feel sick before I feel good.
Fuck that.
Does that make any sense? So I've never been one of the those sweet drinks people. I'll be sick on sugar before I'm fucked up off of something like that.
That's a good thing to have.
So I like light beer and really good fucking weed.
Yeah,
and some whiskey. I like whiskey. I'll have a nice old glass of whiskey or something like that. Or I do really like tequila too.
I used to love sugar drinks. I still love sugar drinks, but like the alcoholic ones, was it it was like fucking
Hypnotic.
Yeah, it was blue.
Yeah. Oh,
and I would and that shit is strong as hell,
Yeah,
dude.
it is.
And I was pounding those like they were fucking Kool-Aid shots. And I'd be blacked out, fucking sweating, pants around my ankles at the club, fucking, why isn't everybody trying to blow me?
Because your grandma didn't die.
That's where I went wrong.
Were you a Zima guy?
Nah, never. Nah. That wasn't.
They made a comeback.
Yeah,
that's hard seltzer.
They're back
Who the fuck
now.
are we kidding?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that didn't work for me. One time I had Mike's Hard
Yeah,
Lemonade.
that's what I'm
and I
talking about.
blacked
None of
out
those.
on Sunset, and then I came
From that?
to I don't know what I was drinking a lot of other stuff. Then all of a sudden I'm walking. All of a sudden I wake up and I'm walking down Sunset, and I've got one sock on. I got no shoes, and I got a 6-pack of Mike's Hard Lemonade, and they're like half drunk, and I'm like.
That's when you snapped out of the blackout?
I'm like, what the fuck? 'Cause the last thing I remember is like being in some seedy hotel with just some prostitute or whatever. And then I don't know what else happened. I think I did some drugs with her and then blacked out. But then I think something else because I was definitely a lot further away from that. But yeah, 2 times in my life that's happened where I was like, I don't even want to know what I did.
Those things are a little dangerous. I one time drank like 23 Mike's Hard iced tea.
God
Oh,
damn.
That came out
23?
in a trailer park.
Yeah, I feel like
That's where you should drink.
is this what it's
23?
like to be in a fraternity?
I'm usually
That's a case.
I usually have like a bitch ass tolerance. But they were so good and they didn't taste like alcohol at all. So me and my buddies were at this trailer park and I was crushing them.
Yeah.
And my friend drank more than me. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night. My buddy and I slept in the same bed,
Yeah.
but not lengthwise. We both just sat on the bed and laid back. So both of our legs were hanging off of it next to each other. He just sits up like the Exorcist and barfs all over the trailer.
Shit.
I wake up because of the noise because he was a very loud puker. It was like, whoa! Like
It's hard not to-
Godzilla spraying
Yeah.
all over the place. And I smelled his puke. So I get
Oh,
up and I'm
fuck.
projectile vomiting.
Yeah.
And this was some guy we had never even met before his trailer.
Oh God.
And it was like Ghostbusters 2 when they're inside the Statue of Liberty. We coded the whole inside of that motherfucker.
Do you clean the vomit when you wake up, or what do you do?
I just went back to sleep.
But what about in the morning? Did you clean it or did you just leave?
I don't remember, but I would guess we just bounced.
Wow.
It was
I remember
disgusting.
when my mom kicked us out of our house, finally, we threw the mother of all motherfucking parties at this little tiny house. And at the end, there was so much vomit all over the place. It was our last day. I took her vacuum and I vacuumed all the vomit up and then just left the vacuum in the house. And it just, my brother's like, that fucking thing stinks so bad. I'm like, why doesn't she just throw it out?
Wow.
Oh my God.
That sounds so disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Man.
Sometimes
is-
I don't miss being young.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also had a night where I got jumped being fucked up. I got jumped and ended up in the hospital, almost died. They broke my jaw, cracked my skull, bunch of shit. And after that, also, I was like, okay, I've never smoked marijuana and been rendered useless.
Who the fuck
ever.
beat you up that bad? What'd you do?
So it was, this is like the late 90s. I was living here the first time. I originally wanted to come to do comedy, but I just, again, no parents, no safety net, no nothing. So I was like, I'll get out there. I'll transfer from my junior college to Cal State Northridge. I got in. This is 1994. And the morning I wake up to drive out here, the Northridge quake happens. So it fucks up Cal State Northridge, the school I'm going to. My friend's mom is waking me up in the morning and she turns on CNN. I think I'm dreaming. You know, and she's like, your school's gone. It's destroyed. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? It's the weirdest thing to wake up to hear, you know?
Yeah.
And other than actually being here for the fucking earthquake. And yeah, it was all fucked up. So I end up coming out. Long story short, it's a month delay. I'm homeless. I meet some people, and I got a friend, and it's his birthday today, as a matter of fact. I got to give Kevin a call. And his brother, Rick, and the Eagles are coming. It was called the Hell Freezes Over tour because they always said if they ever went back on tour again, hell would freeze over. So we get tickets to go to the Irvine Amphitheater. We go, and I'm 21. Kevin's 22. His brother's a couple years older, and his brother's got this hot girlfriend with him. She was like a little Skinamax B-movie booby girl, but so sweet. So sweet. Nicole, I think her name was. And she was a rich Beverly Hills girl. This is 94, and she had a cell phone, okay? But, I mean, remember that thing. But she was a rich chick. So we run out of beer and weed pretty quickly, and they're drinking wine. And this is when I learned about wine. We're making fun of them for being pussies for drinking wine at a concert. Well, there's nothing left to drink, so we start drinking wine. The problem is we're drinking wine the way we were drinking beer, and it fucked me up bad. So I pass out for the whole I mean, I woke up, I saw Joe Walsh solo, and I saw the encore. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I saw.
Yeah.
And we go back to the car, and I've told this story a bunch on my podcast, but we're sitting in an old school Toyota Land Cruiser, okay? And in the Land Cruiser, the seat in the back doesn't face the windshield. They face each other. So normally where you'd be facing this way, the driver and the passenger are, but Kevin and I are looking at each other this way because the seats are this way, right? Last thing I remember is hearing Rick, who's driving, say, be careful. These guys look like they want trouble. Something like that. And it was these two drunk dudes that happened to be amateur boxers who were wasted walking through, because we're in bumper to bumper traffic to try to get out now. The concert's over. And it's a hot summer night, tops, open. We're just sitting there and we're wasted. I mean, I can't talk.
Yeah.
I'm just slumped.
Yeah.
These two guys are just looking for trouble. So one of them grabs Kevin, one of them grabs me and pulls me out, and I go back like a scuba diver. And I fall on my head. I crack my skull.
Dude.
He starts kicking my jaw. To this day, I have TMJ. I never had that shit before. He fucking fractured my jaw. But I'm out for all. I don't know any of this is happening.
Yeah.
None of it.
Probably for the best.
And then I'm on the ground, and the cars start pulling over me. And
What?
Rick's girlfriend gets out and stops it. She calls 911 on that big fucking, thank God, that old school phone.
Yeah.
Police come in. They put me in an ambulance. They give me oxygen. They rush me to the
Fuck,
hospital. I'm out
Yeah.
for all this. I wake up to a nurse. I'm in a hospital bed, and she says, listen, you have a major concussion. I want you to sip this ginger ale. And she goes, do not gulp it. But I was so fucking thirsty. I just gulped it. And I mean, I puked like you guys were talking. Everywhere.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, you need to lay down. So I'm in there. And then the doctor comes in. This is hours later now. My blood alcohol content's still crazy. And he's like, look, I don't feel comfortable sedating you or anything right now. So I'm just going to have to stitch you up like this. And I was like, okay. And he just, stitches like this. And he's like, how much do you have to drink tonight? And I'm just saying nothing. Like he's like, guy, let's go, bro. So I finally get up. I go look in the mirror. And I can't believe my jaw is out like this. And I hadn't seen it. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
My head's killing me. They make us get a hotel. The police do. They say, you guys are all still too fucked up to drive. You got to get a hotel. Well, you're not supposed to go to sleep when you have a concussion like this. But Kevin and I are laying on his bed. He's fucked up too. I see him walk by, but I think I don't know what's going on. I wave and he waves and his face is all fucked up. So they got him too. But none of this is told to me until after, of course. And then the police call me later in the day, like, are you going to be belligerent like you were? I was like, what are you talking about? I was unconscious. Like,
yeah.
And so police didn't help us. Insurance wouldn't cover it because they said we were out of state. Kevin's dad tried to do all this shit. He's the one that found out they were amateur boxers, like all this crazy shit. And then nothing ever fucking happened with it.
So were these guys not even brought to criminal justice?
Nothing. So
why?
Because I really don't know. His dad did all of it, and they just were like, yeah, it's your word against theirs, and blah, you guys were wasted. I'm like, yeah, but we have tons of witnesses that were sitting. There's 10 cars around here that all of them in the thing were like, that guy did nothing. They did nothing. I couldn't even lift my head up. But the point is, ever since that, I don't allow myself to drink like that ever again. Because I should have died. I mean, that head hit on the ground is enough to kill somebody. I'm lucky.
I saw a video of scientists are working on this material that is like paper, and then there's like an electric pulse thing that goes through it and it makes it fucking tight, and they're gonna do exoskeleton shit with it. So like people that their legs don't work, they show like people running with like the exoskeleton thing, and I'm thinking, okay. I'm pissed because if exoskeleton was now, then I could still be like a great skateboarder if I had like exoskeleton knees and shit. But then I thought,
wait, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Is it
it's in your skin?
But it'll take the place of wearing pads and helmets and shit, or no?
It'd be like your body you would have robotic power in your legs.
Oh, it's not just a protection thing; it's actual power.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a skid pad or
exoskeleton that has like actual power in it that you could like lift things with.
So you can jump higher and all that.
The whole body was exoskeleton. You could fucking like lift cars and shit.
What the NBA gonna look like when you do something like that? Or football?
Well, that's what I thought. The exoskeleton, there'll be an exoskeleton like sport.
Sure.
You can't have it against normal people.
No.
But I also thought if you're real old and you can't get it up, you get an exoskeleton dick.
Can you feel it though?
What do you feel? What? Yeah, that's what's up. I just read her face. Yeah, I don't know about that, Michael. It's not ready yet.
Yeah.
It's just getting there.
I mean, her pleasure is great and everything. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we do need to feel something.
I have video footage of it.
I would watch exoskeleton league sports.
I'd watch exoskeleton porn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I would watch that too. Sports would be crazy with that kind of shit.
Well, the only problem
dunking
is
on 20-foot rims and shit.
Developed by SRI International, California. Under electrostatic effect, it changes stiffness. So under zero voltage,
so the
material is compliant. It's like floppy, like paper. Then the button's pushed, the voltage is applied, and it becomes stiff as a board.
Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
We embed this material into the synthetic skin that attaches my bionic limb to my biological body.
Motorcycle cops and shit like that. I'd say, give me that.
Well, the only problem is it's actually counterproductive to find stuff that allows you to go bigger and take bigger hits and slams if we're still haven't figured out a way to make your brain better able to protect itself.
True. Well, these guys.
I'll deal with that when the fucking slam comes. What about supersonic helmets?
Anything to protect the head, I think. Is
Motocross guys have airbags in their helmets. Do you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
If you now all motocross helmets come with if you crash, you have to get a new helmet because it's designed where when it hits, there's a like an airbag thing that pops or something around your head to and it's been shown some supercross guys hit their head and now that they've got the new helmet, hit their head in an even worse crash and not lose consciousness.
No shit.
Instead of being knocked the fuck out.
I didn't know. I used to ride my motorcycle. I had a motorcycle back in the day. I had a little FZ600. It was a Yamaha. And right before they made the FZR. And I didn't know this, but the guy told me when I bought my helmet that they're good for one crash.
Yeah.
And if he's like, and listen, I'm telling you now, if you accidentally drop it any more than waist high, that helmet's done. Like the inner shell is good for one. I didn't know that. I thought
all the new helmets are crazy advanced.
Yeah, that's fucking great.
Yeah, I agree. It's really great. And to see the proof, because I know motocross guys, a particular guy that took a slam and was sleeping as soon as he hit the ground. Now with the new helmet, took a crash worse than that one, landed on his head again and didn't lose any consciousness. And I'm like, that is proof. Because that guy, if anything, should get knocked out even easier.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Fox makes them, I believe.
I love shit like that. There was a Buffalo Bills player a few seasons ago who was paralyzed on the field, right? And they happened to have this team that had worked on this new, and I might have this wrong, but I followed it for a while because it was so fascinating to me. But he was hit and couldn't move any of his extremities. And they happened to have this team that had been working on this what do you call it? It was just like trials and working to see if this shit worked. Well, what they ended up doing was and it worked. It was just crazy. So they took his body temperature and they lowered it. They basically iced him so that now what happens is your body becomes the ice pack for the spinal cord, right?
Yeah.
But you got to do it quick. You got to be there within a short amount of time to get this and it worked. And he walks. He can't play football anymore. He's got use in all his extremities. He walks. He talks. It absolutely fucking reversed the paralysis.
What about this exoskeleton that makes you swim faster than a shark or a dolphin, so you can go fucking super fast into the sea and then come flying out and do fucking flips and shit?
That would be badass.
What about this exoskeleton Birdman? Fucking caca.
You should be able to fly, right?
If you had an exoskeleton that fucking had big wings, like they all like the wings expand and go real wide, and then you fucking jump off something. Caca.
See, this is what sucks. Like,
why does that suck?
Because we're going to be dead in 30, 40 years, and there's going to be some really cool shit.
There's going to be people that live
60, 70
They're
going
to live forever in an exosskeleton suit.
I say all that.
Well, we turned to
we're going to be the last of the dyers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all going to be like, you remember my great-grandfather died. Yeah, he died. Yeah, no one dies anymore.
It's like the AIDS thing. Well, people that died from AIDS, and now you don't die from AIDS when you get AIDS. It's like, man, I wish I had got AIDS.
Yeah, and then
20 years later than when I got it.
Yep, timing's everything. Speaking of moving really fast underwater, this is the thing I wanted to bring up about the UFOs. So everybody's talking about UFOs, and it seems like there's these little dribs and drabs every day of it gets more and more real, and it gets less and less ludicrous to talk about it like it might be a real thing. And there's some big Pentagon report that's coming out in like a month that's supposedly going to be all these little bits put together and then much more. Here's another little drib and drab I don't hear people talking about so much: underwater UFOs.
Yeah, I've said that.
Yeah. Okay.
Makes
So
sense.
in the same way,
I believe they're related to octopuses.
that lots and lots of fighter pilots are like, oh, we've seen this shit for years. Shit we can't possibly explain. Apparently, there's just as many U.S. Navy submarine guys with similar stories.
Is that
of seeing
right?
shit in the ocean, under the sea.
Yeah, I believe you're going to find that just like we're connected to the monkeys, I believe that the aliens are connected to the octopi, and they look kind of like octopus people. So it's going to be kind of terrifying, but I'm still down to fuck them.
Like,
I'd give one a go too,
Right?
goddamn it.
Tentacles.
I
man.
would
Think
too.
about it.
I'd fuck an alien.
Yeah.
Why not?
Especially if you got tentacles. Get
Maybe-
that shit going.
Maybe octopus are just like their pets, and enough of them escape. You know how there's like wild boars? Maybe some octopus pets escaped and then procreated in the ocean.
Start looking like your pet and shit.
Yeah.
So they're like a higher form of octopus.
Yes. that's
Right.
But I mean,
yeah.
I'm watching these videos, and they're making cuts and turns
Yeah.
that our shit just can't. So it makes
One would
sense
hope.
to me. It could go underwater.
Yeah. You have to
You
hope
know,
that
big
it's
deal.
aliens.
Yeah. What else?
Because if it's not, it's the Ruskies.
Yeah. No.
Oh, is that a Russian?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to watch out for those guys.
But what if it's not aliens? I mean, I know we call anything out of here an alien, but what if it's nothing like we think it is at fucking
I've always
all?
loved
What if it's an
the theory.
entity?
What if it's time?
Oh, ghosts. Or
What if
demons.
it's what?
Or Bigfoots?
Aliens are, I've always loved this theory. I want it to be true. Aliens are time traveling humans from the future. Came back to visit us and see what things look like in the deep
Do
past.
they look
Oh,
like
and that's
us?
why they can't ever land and show or anything because it'll fuck up the time.
But do they look like us still?
Well, this is kind of dated projection, but people used to think about like the Whitey Stryber thing, the communion thing, right? What's the classic probing alien? Smaller, hairless, big eyes,
Yeah, bald head.
communicates telepathically. Those are all things that could presumably be on the trajectory of human evolution. That could be a human from the distant future, that classic form of alien. And that's why you would never actually catch them, because if there was ever absolute undebatable proof, they could just come back again and erase that and undo that.
I hope it's fucking real.
Any black aliens, you think?
Presumably.
We just have them all morphed into like a gray because it seems like aliens are gray mainly.
Well, that was like a South Park joke. You know, eventually, if everybody keeps fucking each other, it'll just be one race of mishmash of all of them.
Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I would like that.
I'm in for it.
I'm ready. I'm
I
tired
don't
of
know
not-
that I
tired
would
of
get
not
on
knowing.
a spaceship though, but
You don't want to be on a spaceship?
I don't know if I'd fly on it. Like if they were like, "We'll keep it on the ground. You can get on and look around." I think I would do that. I don't know.
I feel like spaceships seem pretty safe.
I don't. They probably safer to fly than a plane.
I just don't really want to hang out with aliens and go anywhere. I'm like, if you're going to leave in the spaceship with me in it, like, where are we going exactly? Like, I don't want to go to your fucking house. I know it's going to suck.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
What?
They probably
They're
got
all-
cool shit. Like advanced.
Okay, like what? Like what? Like really?
I don't know. Maybe
You'd be
they
like,
got,
"How many times did you hit me in the face, bro? Come on." He's like, "Da, da, 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 da."
You guys got any boxing gloves around here? You got any skateboards? Probably not.
or if they got cool hologram shit or like space weed or like.
See, holograms. Fuck holograms.
Space weed just made me perk
Space
up. Though. I
weed's
hadn't
pretty
even
cool.
considered space weed.
What if they don't have
I
any?
hadn't considered
If they perfected
space-
What if
travel
they don't
like
have
that,
any weed?
Then we bring ours.
Better bring a lot. It's probably pretty far away.
Yeah, but you'll get there in like a second.
What if they don't have any place where? What if you use a lighter, it doesn't work?
Our luck, we'll meet the aliens that are like driving the old Datsuns and shit. You know what I mean? Not the fucking Bill Gates aliens of the world that got all that shit
feel
going
like
on.
they
Like
eat
I got a fucking submarine on my yacht.
I feel like they eat slime.
I think their food sucks. I bet
Yeah.
it's really healthy and really shitty.
Yeah, I don't want to eat.
Yeah,
slime.
you've never seen a fat alien.
That's
now that
true.
I think about it,
It's
they're
like the-
all slender and yeah, they look good.
All their food's going to be like the
toned.
gluten-free shit at Whole Foods. Fucking garbage. Expensive garbage. Well, let me put it in a.
They look like they got small genitals, which might be okay for me if I have like the biggest genitals on their planet, and then everybody wants to get a piece of my huge genitals.
Yeah,
I might be okay with being like an alien prostitute.
because they got almond testicles.
Yeah, if I'm just like a huge celebrity for fucking everybody on this planet, just I got
Yeah.
a hoe show.
You'd be like the Billy Idol of fucking Mars
Yeah, just got my little spot. Like, oh wow, it's the
Oh,
horror
look,
guy
it's
from Earth.
Fuckzilla.
from
Yeah.
Earth. Fuckzilla.
yeah, the government could hire you to be like to see how cross species work. So it's
Yeah.
like, hey, we found octopus people. All right, get Jason Ellis.
Yeah,
Jason,
Let's see if we can fuck
Yeah.
them.
Right. There's two kinds of people. People who watch District 9 and thought I would never have anything to do with those prostitutes, or people who are like, I'd do it once.
I mean, you wouldn't fuck
Once.
a prawn, right? I couldn't fuck a prawn.
We've
I would
discussed this.
totally
Yeah,
fuck a
yeah.
prawn.
Yeah,
I feel like it could hurt your dick.
not my dick.
You only live once. Lick a prawn's butt.
Yeah, I don't know if I do that, but look, maybe I would. I'm not ruling it out. I'm just saying right now. Would I? I don't know about the mouth. Doesn't look like it even works.
This could be a racist statement in like 30 years, but I don't think exoskeletons are all that hot.
Yeah.
I hope somehow that ends up being extremely racist in 30 years. I don't know where we're headed.
We get banned from Twitter from all exoskeleton people. They finally got a hold of us. Yeah. No, you're right. I don't want to fuck a crab. You're right.
But
But-
prawns were kind of exoskeleton.
I would fuck a crab if it had a pussy. Like if it was
Crab?
if it was a big crab and it was like Jason. You know what I mean? Like, here's my
He spoke
pussy. And then
It's giving you a crab predator with its claws, pulling its butt
I
open.
wouldn't just, whoa, that crab's got a pussy. I'm fucking it. The crab's got to say, I'm totally into
Consent, even consent in the alien world. Yeah.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Then you're
And if
fucking
you speak alien and I don't understand you saying yes, then if we don't get like a sign language contract going, we're not doing it.
It uses its claws and it like points to its ass and then nods to you.
One time I slept with 2 Italian chicks that had hairy armpits, and they took me to their weird little camper van thing that they were staying in. And
You had a threesome in a camper?
yeah.
I fucking love you.
And
dude.
they didn't understand what I was saying, and I just ended up doing that to them in the camper, and they were like,
The finger hole
I
thing.
did the finger hole, and they were like, oh, ha, 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 yeah. And I'm like, all right, well then, yeah. But I actually used that because we weren't really.
They didn't speak
It
English
was
at
such a
all.
weird thing. I was in a parking lot, drinking in a parking lot with skateboarders, and then we talked, and they just laughed because I don't think they understood much. And then they were like, "You come with us?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll fucking come hang out." And then I was like, "Is this really gonna happen?" And I kept tripping out on their hairy armpits because they were cute, and their armpits were extra hairy, super noticeable, and they weren't gay. Maybe they were. No, I don't
They're
think they were.
European. They're Italian, you said.
Does that
Yeah.
mean everybody in Italy
Italian
does that?
Some.
That's amore, bro.
Some.
Is it though? Do they? I
It
feel
was
like
then.
yeah, because it's okay. So in '91, everyone had hairy armpits, and now they shave them.
I would imagine a lot more of them do than used to. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind hairy chicks' armpits. I don't really like hairy chicks' legs, but if they're your legs, do whatever the fuck you want. I'll probably still fuck you, right?
You're definitely still
Just trying to
gonna
get
fuck
that across today.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
Yeah, if you'll fuck a crab, I don't think hairy pits are slowing you
Yeah.
down.
I would.
You're definitely the definition of polyamorous if you're gonna fuck animals.
I wouldn't fuck an animal.
Crabs.
It's more of an alien, mystical crab.
Oh, I see. Not an actual.
Not a real crab.
Not a dungeon. You're not gonna
How's
stick
the
your dick in
crab
a
talking
dungeon
to me?
nest.
How's the crab talking
That's
to me?
what I was wondering.
It's not a normal crab.
I mean, could you fuck a female Chewbacca?
Katie?
I'm not your dick.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, but what do you think it would say?
You would.
Yeah. Yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
why not?
What about a Cthulhu?
Who's that?
I don't know what that is. Either.
It's like a giant tentacle face with bat
Oh,
wings.
fuck yeah.
Is that the thing that ate Boba Fett?
I would have sex with
No.
any consensual thing that has tentacles.
Okay.
Tentacles to me that would be hot.
Oh, Cthulhu's like the Pirates of the Caribbean bad guy. Right?
Yeah.
He's got like all the
Yeah. Yep.
the tentacles. are
Man,
always
imagine getting a
moving.
blowjob from that guy and all these hair tentacles are like massaging your balls and
Oh
stuff.
man, rubbing your head and
Come
shit up
on.
here, like,
Tickling your butthole?
fuck. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be down for that.
You guys are crazy to not let the tentacle guy blow you.
sodomizing him while he slowly moans. Arr.
Yeah, that one's gonna throw me off, but whatever.
Oh, hey, matey.
Pirate sounds are tough.
Pirate. That would be a gross accent. What if I talk like a pirate while
Oh,
I'm fucking?
no, I
Like,
am Davy Jones Locker.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'm close. I'm close.
Yeah, that's tough.
That would be the worst accent.
she's a cluster.
All right.
It's been a great show.
Yeah, no, thanks everybody for if you did listen, like, and subscribe. Thank you, Ryan. Give it a plug on your shows because you got a couple, right?
Yeah, Ryan Sickler on all social media. RyanSickler.com is my website. The show is The Honeydew. You can subscribe on YouTube. And my Patreon is The Honeydew with Y'all, where I do the same thing with y'all.
You got comedy dates?
I do. I'm starting to put some more together now, but right now, September 16th through the 18th, I'll be in Phoenix. Working on some La Jolla dates right now, Baltimore date, and then all the reschedule stuff. Minneapolis, Boston.
You're going to be back.
Yeah, I got to go and, get
Good,
back to
dude.
those shows that were scheduled before the pandemic.
Good. I'm happy for all you guys that get to.
Yep.
I
Get back
can't
out
wait. There's
there.
been nothing to look forward to the last year and a half. You
Right.
know, like now there's some real travel. I'm not crazy about flying all the time, but I love going places and just checking shit out,
Yeah.
So it's nice we've been home for a year and a half. It's time.
Yeah, I would like the show to start doing that now that we have a different deal. We're a podcast company they're like, hey, we book podcasts for comedy stores. And I'm like, let us go. We'll go. I want to go on the road and Bring the Jason Ellis show to
You
people?
should. You should be doing festivals. You should be doing live shows for
I could
sure.
do like a little thing where I could pick like 4 people out of the audience and they all get
Vet
to
them.
punch me.
Have them email you before that. And these days, that's what have Zoom. Let them Zoom you. Vet them before you get there. You meet them, then you know who you're meeting, and then you have your guest and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, don't randomly pull them out. You should do maybe 3 and then 1 random.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't want 4 randoms hijacking your fucking show and shit.
Yep. Good idea.
True.
Thinking, man. Thanks, Ryan, for being
that off the air.
Oh, man, you got a lot of advice, and I'm taking it. It's all good stuff to me. Thanks for being on the show, dude.
Thank you for having me
Love you
again.
love you on the show. Everybody loves you on the show.
That's nice.
We might just keep rotating this. Next week, Ryan Sickler will be on the show, and on the Honeydew next week, Jason Ellis will be on, and then Sickler will be, and then maybe Kevin.
Your app's coming.
Yeah, it's
We already have it recorded.
all right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, everybody. Don't die.
Bing, boing, poing, 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 poing. Poing, poing, poing. Boing, 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 boing. Meow, 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 meow. Fucking meow, meow. Big fat boy. Fucking big fat boy. Fucking boy. Bing boing boy. Fucking Bing boing boing.
If you want more Jason Ellis Show, sign up for their Patreon at patreon.com/EllisMate for a 2-hour show every Tuesday and Wednesday. To watch full episodes of The Jason Ellis Show, subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/The Jason Ellis Show. And don't forget to follow the crew on Instagram at Wolfmate, at Tullywood, at Kevin Kraft, at Underwear Wolf, and at The Jason Ellis Show.